Hi, my name is Diamond James, and I attended Northwestern University at the Medill School of Journalism. So I majored in journalism, but the major wasn't really offered as part of the university's liberal arts course. So I had to specify that I wanted to go into the journalism school at the time of the college application. So I'm from Los Angeles, California originally. So that was an interesting determination for me to think about how far I actually wanted to go away from my family to pursue what I deemed a prestigious degree. So journalism, especially a journalism degree from Medill, as it's known, was something that was pretty competitive and is still, I think, pretty prestigious among many other national journalism schools. So that was my choice. And I knew that it was a really rigorous curriculum, but it was also something that I knew I had to apply beforehand. So I didn't really have time to be a freshman or sophomore and then select. I came in at on day one as a journalism major. So I think I just want to take some time to talk about the major itself, the courses that I studied, and any difficulties that I had and the things that I enjoyed. So within the major, I think the most challenging part, as I stated earlier, is that you really have to know that you are interested in, a career. I would say a public service career, because as the job of a journalist is someone who's supposed to be a public watchdog, be mindful of, the happenings with local government or celebrity or science or anything that I think is influential to public's well-being. So you have to be interested in that. And clearly the major has developed over time, or the field has grown so much with social media, digital platforms, which didn't really exist as it had when I was there. So for my major, I was able to select. This was early in the early 2000s. So really, they just had three choices. It was you select that you're on a newspaper track, a magazine track, or a broadcast track. So for me, I decided to go with newspaper because I was told by my advisor, and I think she was right, that it was an area where I would be able to produce work every day, kind of a volume of work every day that really people working in newspapers at the time didn't get to produce, because they're kind of on a regular or a weekly or sometimes monthly schedule. So she shared with me that at a newspaper, I would be able to make work every day, multiple times a day, hitting multiple deadlines. So that was something for me, because I knew that I wanted to learn and grow very quickly. So I think the difficulties of the major are really, for me at the time, it was reporting. So that was an area that I struggled with. I had challenges going to an event, capturing notes very quickly, and then being able to put it down and synthesize it in a way that is coherent and really tells the reader the best story. And so I knew reporting for newspapers wasn't something I wanted to do as a career, which really fueled my desire for print media design. So at the time, there wasn't a digital option, but I was able to pursue on a newspaper layout, magazine layout. And those skills, I think, do transfer over into something I use today, which is really informational hierarchy and editing. So really hone in on my skills of what's most important to a reader or a viewer of any sort of content. So helping organize the story, storyboarding, things like that. I think they do still come in handy, even though the media has definitely changed over time. So I think also, what else? So things that helped me thrive, I think every school is different, but for me, what helped me thrive the most was finding a group of friends who shared a similar background. So, as deciding to go to a school that is a predominantly white institution, really there was a very small population of students of color, but I was able to find people who look like me outside of my major and really grow my sense of community. I also think that joining an affinity group for your professional course of study is helpful. So for me as a journalist, it was the National Association of Black Journalists. They have programming for local events. So for us, it would have been Chicago, or the Society of Newspaper Designers, which was important to me at the time, to meet a lot of other students who extend beyond our university, who are basically striving for the same or comparable goals. And then I think another tip is helpful was to pursue activities that had nothing to do with my major, to have a sense of or a place to relieve stress. For me, it was singing with the gospel choir because it was nothing scholastic there, but again, it just helped me grow those friend groups and then find people that I wouldn't otherwise have spoken to. Also, I really enjoyed taking classes outside of the journalism degree. So I enjoyed my philosophy classes, some poli-sci classes or political science, sociology, which I think are comparable to a field where you're learning about people. So it just keeps you, I think, on your toes and gives you background information of human interaction and why people might behave the way they do, which I think helps with what you're covering in the news. So another tip would be to go and actually work or pursue, if it's a work study or working on campus, in the field, in the job, or doing the practice of something you enjoy. So for me, I went to work at the student newspaper because I was able to work 3 nights a week for a very, very low wage, but still was helpful for me to hone those skills that I was learning in class in real time, 3 nights a week, and then doing it with other young journalists to make sure we were really covering campus and really were building some lifelong friendships. So I think, again, some barriers a little bit to the journalism school, or kind of roadblocks. I think, again, having to apply to a professional school up front can be difficult. So it can separate you a bit from other people. So again, really go after courses like the big courses that have a lot of students that will, be interdisciplinary. I would say it's very important to practice your craft. So keep practicing and, just get better will help your coursework as well as your professional work when you develop examples of your work or work samples or clips as they're called. And then take as many courses just to make you a well-rounded person. Lastly, I know this has gone a bit over, but lastly, I think I am no longer a journalist, as it were, but I do right now work in local government. So my desire to help the public has extended. I'm a civic designer in an elected office here in Los Angeles, and I really do enjoy it. I still use the informational organization because I do write and edit a lot. I help design, programs and also the materials that go along with those programs for our city. So really exciting to actually help or translate the skills that I had before into something really useful today that residents hopefully get to enjoy for years and years to come. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it was helpful, and best of luck to you in your studies, and take care. Bye-bye.